Hi, welcome to Mommas and Mannies. I'm your host, Trina. This is a short form podcast for mamas that are looking for a quick burst of me time. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button and share this with another mama if she is trying to stay warm during the winter time. As always, we're going to go ahead and start the episode off with a motivational quote. This week's motivational quote is geared towards wintertime, winter weather. The quote says, "Kindness is like snow, it beautifies everything it covers." Again, the quote is, "Kindness is like snow, it beautifies everything it covers." And that quote is from Khalil Gibran. And I think that definitely is a great quote. And that really does sum up kindness, because when you're kind to one person, most of the time that person feels warm and fuzzy on the inside. Then they share that kindness with someone else, and so forth and so forth. So I think that is a great quote. Great to even tell your kids if you have siblings that are always fighting or competing or something like that. Go ahead and let them know kindness will beautify everything that it covers, just like snow. But guess what time it is? It's mama time. So this week's mama time is going to be about how to survive cabin fever, staying locked in with your kids. Because this upcoming weekend, I know here for Metro Atlanta, there is a threat of freezing rain, and we don't know if it's going to turn into snow. Right now, it's kind of hard to tell. When I checked earlier in the day, it said we're actually going to get rain starting on Thursday, the 22nd. And then it looks like it's probably going to rain all the way to Sunday. Our temperatures are going to drop, and then it's a possibility that the rain may turn into snow. So I'm just looking at the weather right now. It looks like Thursday it's just going to be rain, and then it's supposed to cool down. Friday, it looks like, now it's funny about Friday, because it looks like Friday is going to rain in the morning, then not rain in the afternoon, but the temperature is going to drop. And then Saturday, it looks like it's going to rain all day. And then Saturday evening, that's the possibility for the freezing rain, maybe even snow. So if you have kids, I know your kids are excited. They're like, yay, snow. Because, kids, this is so funny to me, because kids love for it to snow. They want it to be cold. They basically want it to be snow. They're not really concerned about the weather or anything like that. But they don't understand, if it snows or if it's ice, it's hard to move around on the road. So if people have to go out to work, what do they do? It's going to take you a lot longer, depending on, like, if you work at a hospital. And unfortunately, I am scheduled for the weekend. I don't know why. It just seemed like every time it snowed, it want to snow on the weekend. But I'm scheduled to work this weekend. And if they make it, they call it a cold white at my job, where they're saying, if you're safe to come to and from work, cool. But if you can't come to and from work safely, you can stay, like, the hospital's huge. So you can stay and they'll find somewhere for you to go to sleep. So you basically don't have to run that risk of going home and maybe not being able to come back to work. So if they call that, I may have to end up staying at the hospital. I don't really know. It's just so up in the air, because it's almost like you want to go to work if you're able to go to and from the house. You kind of don't want to go to work if you can't go to and from the house, because if I already work 12 hours and it takes me 2 hours to get home and to get to work, I kind of don't want to do that, because it ends up taking forever. So who knows? We'll see what happens. What the weather is actually going to end up being. Is it just going to be rain and they're going to treat the roads really well with salt and brine? Or is it going to be snow? Same thing. They're going to treat the roads with salt and brine. Or is it going to be ice? But whatever it is, make sure, if you don't have to leave the house, go ahead and stay at home. So here are just a few tips things to do when you're stuck at home with your kids. First thing, just like over Christmas break, you want to make sure you have enough food. Now, in situations like this, you never know how long you'll need to be at home or something like that. Or what if the power goes out? You want to have stuff like to make sandwiches, whether that's peanut butter and jelly, meat and cheese, or even grilled cheese, something like that. If you have a gas stovetop, remember you can still use your gas stove even if the power is out, the electricity is out. So that's one of the great things if you have a gas stovetop. So you can make all those sandwiches. Another thing you may be able to make is kind of like French toast, things like that. Anything on top of the stove, you'll be able to make, and that'll be great. So you want to make sure you have enough food, something to drink, also clean water if you need that. So if you have to go to the store and get like those big 5 gallons of water, go ahead and do that, or pick up a few bottles of gallon size water. I know like Sam's and Costco, they sell like a 6 pack of gallon waters, I think for like no more than $7. So that's good to have too. Think about that. You can even have like grits and oatmeal because those can be cooked on top of the stove. Just things you can cook like your stove top or really don't need much preparation at all. So sandwiches is the best thing for that. So when you go to the store and you're like, no, it's no bread. Why don't people do that? That's why they do it. And then also people love to get eggs. That's something you can cook too. Another thing you can do, I just thought about, you can always boil some eggs and then have them ready like in the refrigerator. You can also have those to eat. So that's a really great idea. And the other thing, they always get water, boiled egg, not boiled eggs, bread, milk, cheese. So get all that stuff. All right, get something that's non-traditional, but you can still eat if your electricity goes out or if you have to stay at home. Number 2, make sure you have like some workbooks or activity books for your kids to do, for you to do. That way you guys can kind of stay active, entertained. If the TV's off, what you gonna do? If you have board games or Jenga, stuff like that, that's also something fun and exciting that you can do, and that would be fun. Number 3, I would say if do like a kind of like a spa day. Can you do manis and pedis? Can you do hair? You probably won't be able to wash the hair, but can you style hair? That's one of the fun things. And I'm sure your kids, especially if you have little girls or if you have a son that has like braids or locks or something like that, that would be great to do. So those are just a few things that you want to make sure you have plenty of food to survive. If you have your gas stove top, remember you can still use that. If you have a hot water heater that is gas, that's great too, because you'll be able to take a warm shower. So just keep those things in mind. Make sure you have entertainment like workbooks, word puzzles, things like that. Or I'm trying to think of something like card games, Uno, board games. Those will be fun. And then the next one is you can definitely have a spa day. So if you have polish, face masks, things like that, those would be fun to do. So think about those. Hopefully you are able to stay warm. Leave us a comment and let us know what the weather is like for you this upcoming weekend. Is it going to be freezing cold? Is it going to be unusually warm? Or are you getting a whole bunch of snow? I would love to hear what you're doing. And also share that in the Mamas and Manny's Patreon. We would love to hear that too, what you're going to be doing and how you survive. I know when it's like hurricane season, you always see posts from like people that have been living in Florida or other states where they get hurricanes all the time, and they give really great tips. Like make sure your phone is charged, make sure you have gas in the car. A lot of times they'll say, fill your bathtub up with water. That way you'll have kind of like clean water to drink. So those are all some great tips. I was trying to think of another. Oh, I think their biggest one was like, make sure your windows are, what's it called? Boarded and stuff like that. So those are good things to think about too. Gasoline in your vehicle, making sure you have like your flashlight if you don't have flashlights. like candles and things like that so you can see around the house. Keep those tips in mind, mama. Keep a cool, calm, collective mindset because it may get crazy staying home with your whole family all weekend. If you work in the hospital business, hopefully you're able to go in and out from your house. But if not, hopefully they have a great like cold, white, or inclement weather plan that you will be able to, be comfortable with if you have to work over the weekend, because some people do have to work even no matter what the weather is. So be safe, stay warm. Make sure you are following us on all social media platforms at Mommas and Mannies. Check us out on YouTube, same name. Remember to join our Patreon. We are really looking to start a mama community on Patreon. That way you can have someone to talk to, give tips to, because Patreon would be really good right now. Like I said, you can still do that here. If you're listening on any place you listen to a podcast or watching us on YouTube, leave a comment. Let us know what is your tip that you do to survive being at home or even just to get ready for inclement weather. Would love to hear that. Remember that me time is essential, and it is, hold on, me too. Wait a minute. Me time is essential and it is never selfish. Have a great week, mamas.